With the development of the number of products we have, we specifically needed a requirement for batch numbering, serial numbering that was properly integrated. So if there was ever a product recall, we had all the data to do that. In the end, we came down to deciding we would look at in-depth Opera or Sage 200. And it was at that point we actually contacted Monpellier. We were all a little stunned at the cost, but when all said and done, it's turned out to be great value. It's actually allowed the company to look much more professional and also internally have better processes for track, trace, stock control. One of the main differences we found between Sage 250 has been the implementation of Spindle, so we can have bespoke looking documents, and it has allowed us to more or less implement a paperless office, and that in itself saved us tens of thousands of pounds on postage. One of the other areas that Monpellier really shined at was looking at our situation. We'd had another Sage distributor had come in and given a presentation, but because we were predominantly Mac based rather than PC based, they were not wanting to move forward and implement Sage 200 without stripping out all of our existing hardware and then supplying us with a whole range of new Windows PCs, Windows Server, and it was a disproportionate amount of cost. And Tom took a much more mature approach to that, and he actually asked us, okay, what are you doing? How are you going to do it? We gave Tom some details of the spec and how we proposed to do it. He then investigated and said he could see no reason why not. And so we moved forward on the basis that we had somebody that would really listen to exactly what we wanted, plus were able to fully explain all the features and benefits of the product. I think any company that has currently running Sage 50, I would certainly recommend the move to Sage 200 on the basis that the business is of the correct size and complexity. I think you need somebody like Monpellier, who is a professional at what they do, to properly plan it and introduce it, and don't try and rush it. It very much needs the pre-planning to ensure a very smooth changeover, as we have seen with our own implementation program. So as long as that's followed, I would heartily recommend it to anybody. I think Monpellier, their real standout in comparison to the other people we had coming in to give us presentations was the one fact they listened. There were so many people that were wanting just to sell the product, and in the end this was such a major move. It was even hard for us to actually try and explain to Tom exactly what we wanted, but he sat there and he listened, and then he came back with a proposal that met our needs rather than just trying to give us a package straight out of a box. And it's really that listening, then the presentation, and also the customer backup and the service. Most of the development has been in the sense that we have been able to improve our internal processes. So in other words, we have more control on exactly how we do things, how the stock take is run, so we don't run out of stock, we don't have too much stock. All of the classic things that a business should be in full control of, and by implementing Sage, it has allowed us to spend realistically more time at the front end talking to customers and generating new business, because the processes behind the scenes are working as efficiently as they should.